welcome back. This is Frosthair, and today we are going to be playing some more Disco Elysium. Finally, we're getting back to this solving murders. Or a murder. We're in the shipyard, and we're checking stuff out. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. So, it's been there for a while, but not too long. You know? Had some of those cases where they had to throw a party in the morning, and in the afternoon you go to get some coffee that's been there and it's still a little warm but not crazy. Let's see, a stair made of pallets is leading up to this guy. Ooh, big boss. Boss man. Let's see what's up here. A taxidermy fish that tells time. Hell yes. Let's tab and see if there's anything else. See if I missed anything. What is this? Nothing? Okay. So just this dude, apparently. That's all that's here. Everett Clare. Before he was a Walrus man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. Are you in charge of the dock worker? Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Everett,
He said my
Everett
name,
Clare,
Mr.
head
Dubois.
of the Dubois Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair on the other hand looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. I'll take
Excellent,
a seat.
Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Nice. He gives you a sly wink. Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Dubois Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be one of the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. Pains me to say.
Well, you know.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically
It
huge.
should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again. Ooh. Hey, that's 25 real. Good money. Think of all the stuff you could. Thank you.
Don't mention it, but also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
He's not kidding.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun.
His slugger lips move, but all you hear is the echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. Oh, my morale. I gotta heal my morale. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. I would appreciate any help you could
Are
provide.
you all right, Harry? You seem anxious.
Harry Dubois.
Don't be. Everything's going to be all right.
Oh, Everett
It's not
seems like
you
he's
left
kind of
me
the
loaded.
guy.
You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
Don't panic. Oh my god. I have negative everything. because I took the check. I have him in the chair and side effect spooks. Just don't panic. God, you're sweating, your knee is jerking, you're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it. So what? Men can cry too. You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. He'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Oh shit, my morale's down again. What is this Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. Keep sliding on the chair like a jello shot.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you
God,
having
I'm gonna
some kind
fucking
of
die,
medical
okay.
emergency?
And my wife's using the sink, so she's being rather loud in the kitchen. But that's okay. Maybe you could use your hands somehow. It's kind of a throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I'm using that.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what.
There,
As
he thinks
entertaining
I'm
as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time.
hanging out with
and
him
I'm an
now.
extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It's about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity. I want to talk about the hanging. Oh, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. Nice. Secret task. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike, so much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk. Exchange information. We could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good. The lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight. Hey, what's up, Aaron? With this thing weighing on me, suddenly he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. He chuckles. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it. Damn it, fine. I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. He flicks his fingers. Open apartment door for Everard. You get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana is like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned that all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Okay, sure. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I'll call you Harry. So that's really my name? My god, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it. But you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that are very low. It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first. My memory is fine. I'm just testing you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. He pats the brown folder in front of him. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No harm done. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? The lieutenant inspects Everett over his spectacles. Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, he turns a couple of pages in the folder. If I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. I'm sorry? Yes, he inspects you over his giant bug-eyed glasses. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you. Where'd you get that folder? Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. This translates into... Haha, you guys are so corrupt. It's kind of like a murder mystery game. You're this cop who doesn't remember anything, and you're trying to solve a murder, but it's got a lot of other aspects to it, too. But it's kind of interesting. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. He turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids? Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. Do you know where I live? But of course, Harry. He nods. Your precinct is in the 41st, and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. He doesn't really seem to know more about it. I don't know, man. I can only do that once. It can't be retried. Let's do it, I guess. Ah. Everett's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry. I've got nothing to hide. Oh, Harry. He peeks into the folder as if it's hard to turn away from the mysteries inside. Oh, wow, this really is something. I'm sure it's not that bad, the lieutenant whispers. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that. So how about it, Harry? He leans back in the chair. You need assistance, I presume. Let's talk of other matters. Of course, Harry. Can you help me get the dead body down from the tree? You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in that matter? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. Also, I studied the footprints of the crime scene, worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. He picks up the handset of the radio phone to his right, then clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He turns back to you. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. His face turns serious. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. It's just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Hold on, could he really be holding my gun hostage? Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it. Does this mean that if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back? Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. He turns to the Lieutenant. I'm only kidding, of course. Of course, the Lieutenant replies dryly. I understand. We help you, you help us. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Cavalson crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with fondness and smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it. Everard, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait. He leans, reaches into a drawer, and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Great. Wouldn't want to get stuck in here. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. Alright, so we got this. Indirect modes of taxation. He gives me -1 empathy. Ultra-liberal dialogue options give +1 real. Okay, for now. I can hold on to that. That's cool. I can't do anything else with the other ones, so I think we're good on that part now. Items, we have photo of a happy couple, a novelty check. Alright, what do we got here? Alright, so let's get out of here and go back to the city. Oh, okay, go down. Is there anything else in here I wanted to grab? No. Alright, let's just get out of here and we'll go back to the city. And going back to the city should give us a good idea of what we're going to do for the rest of the day. I think, because it's getting kind of late in this day. I think it's like 18:30, that's 6:30 at night. And we're supposed to sleep at 2100. So, unfortunately there's no quick travel, which is a bummer. So we just kind of gotta click back and run, and of course I don't remember how the hell I got to where I'm at. Just got my glasses dirty. Alright, so we're gonna go to this other area now. I'm gonna clean my glasses while we're doing that. Alright, and this will put us back up. Still can't do that one. Alright. Let's bail out of here. So there's a couple other places we need to go. We need to go to the pawn shop, I think, and the bookstore. Let's also talk to Jean-Luc.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Yeah.
You have really let yourself go.
Everett told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was. My unpromising race people entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. There's a but. But while I'm gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. He turns to Lieutenant. Both of you. Okay then. Babe, see that? They stay here the whole time. Okay, I guess. I don't know how long are you gonna be? Walking kind of slow. The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. She turns to you. So you guys like cops or something? Yeah, we're the law around here. Cool. I like men with guns and power. The woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? Lieutenant looks toward the yard. That sound. He's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it. I also wish I could see it. Look at you, RCM rented cops. A loud voice booms in from below, guarding that bridge like Everett's lapdogs. Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale? And who are you? The lieutenant fires back. What's your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? I'll work with whoever I want. A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. Ah, good. He's back. The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. Thank you for your cooperation, Measurehead. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
His gaze wanders over the whirling's roof to the yard. Alright. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's go check out the tree, I guess. Oh, let's talk to him first.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there too. You've been in there, he means. Talk to the boss man, probably. Labor Utopia. It's but a rest area on the path leading to open plains, he notes solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face. Everett's right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. Everett said you had a key to the door? A key, huh? He runs his fingers through his mustache. What door is this key supposed to open? He said it belonged to a weasel. Oh, say no more. I've got you. He taps the side of his nose with a little wink. I got that key right there, and let me tell you, it's a mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I'm a hustle grinder. Ha! I'm not so sure about the hustle grind, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling and rags. That's all I know. Organization is what you call compartmentalized. It means we keep out of each other's business. Okay, but where'd you get the key from? The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things, and really truly matter. His gaze wanders off in the distance. None of this mess we're in. This driving and juggling. What's it for? He doesn't wait for your answer. To feed our children, I guess. Anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person. When will he be home? He shakes his head. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what are we fighting for? The man takes a big sip from his flask. He means he's not going to tell you because he doesn't know. but he will shoot mouth with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is and what they're fighting for, this is interesting. Any idea who killed the hangman? The mercenary, eh? He shrugs. We could have killed him. Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? He shakes his head solemnly. The merc was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belt, one often used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors. What a thought! He scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Pushed how? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. Hold up, what does that mean? He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. Understood. The lieutenant takes the note. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you. No problem. I wish the best of you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. He takes up some flask. Why are you striking? We're negotiating our share. Your share? Aye, he seems pleased with himself. So not wages or pensions or... This stuff, they already covered. Shouldn't you be grateful then? That's more than most people have. Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece. How large of a share would you like? All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process. The seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people, or deporting them to a labor camp in Southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist. Are you a communist? No. He pauses to think for a moment. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying, I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Right on. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are, I can't and I shouldn't. Right on, brother. Just the way the world works. Boyadero? Got the picture. Let me ask you something else. Sure thing. I'm done talking to you. I actually don't want to talk to you anymore. Hey, psst. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street you're really ready to start building a communism again. Again? Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it here before. They've built it before. It hasn't really worked out yet, but neither has love. Should we just stop building love too? Love has worked out really well for me. I'm a love winner. Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is, it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeois, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Alright, that sounds like me. Funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up that big communism builder, or do we get right down to it? Roll up your sleeves and start building communism. Let's do it. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Roll up your sleeves further and breathe in the pristine air. Let's go. Let's build communism. Let's build communism instead. How do I internalize? I have to take these off? Like, can I stop? Forget? You don't have enough skill points to forget? Wasteland of reality. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's get out of here. They're probably closed. 1900. The Whirling in Rags is open. Let's go see about the body. Let's see if the body's done. The body's down. Kuno's here. Let's talk to Kuno. You missed a good
show before. A kid came by and completely fucked a tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up. Fucked it good. It was porno.
Jeez, man. Stop using the K word. It belongs in the past. Can't tell Kuno what words to use. He imbues the last syllable with a special kind of joy. What is this? A word museum? You want to belong to a museum? Kuno? What's with the old people? Fuck you, Kuno says. Kuno says that if he wants to, Kuno's dad says it all the time. It's a cool word. Nope. It's like little engines come alive on the other side of the fence. An engine that only says, I don't know what that is, so I'm not even going to begin to say it. He comes to an abrupt stop. Alright, shut it down. See, the Kun has business to do. He turns to you victorious. I talked to Mignana about the armor. So? He raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me you promised to sick the pigs on him. Yeah, so? He doesn't understand. Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello. Look, pig. He's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. I will remember this, Kuno. You got fucked here, Pete. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. Alright, I guess I'm out of here. Go look at the body. Yeah, let's look at the body again. Get out of the way, Kitsuragi. The hangman. The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. Well, it's down. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job, Lieutenant nods. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose and lists. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We're on number 3. The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual. The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut this shit up. Got it. Lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is... try to remove his boots. I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Lieutenant shakes his head. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus. Damn it, this is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe after he's gone to sleep. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls the pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano Corpus Mundi is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single at Puys du Sang to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea. Clap your gloved hands. Let's get in there. There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. He nods approvingly. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in a limited capacity. Alright? I'll ask you what I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes. We just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form. Yeah, there's a lot of bad words in this game. It's interesting though. That's right, he nods. Open your ledger from the field autopsy form. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with Assistant. That's you. Right, Harry Dubois. The man is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says Coroner's case number. Kim Kitsuragi, 57th Precinct, followed by his date and time of arrival at the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials. Just write it down. Next, name. Not applicable. Next, date of birth. Age. The man corrects his glasses. Roughly 50. Try 40. The damage is so extensive it's better to err on the young side. I'm gonna write approximately 42. He nods. Race. Mondial. Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mass of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other. Sex? Fucky. The little monster exclaims energetically. Male. Male. Nor does he look male with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face. Date of death? We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? He looks over your shoulder. 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case. That number listens motionless with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remains. Evidence of treatment. None, at least not after the initial examination. What exactly is treatment anyway? Interfering with a body's position or wounds post-mortem. I agree. Lividity pointed to a lynching. Then again, the right lividity is easy to produce if you know what you're doing. He places his hand on the dead man's chest, as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath, ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform, then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small woodshed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand on the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There in this darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside Grand Coron. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Torson. Hand extended, he approaches to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in I don't understand what this part is. Wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other an accident. A small one. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the post-mortem. Turn the page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hands on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with the surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why. External examination. Summary. Clothes, he begins. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs to make... The make of the briefs is Babroudine, I think? Let's see. He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label. See, it's happening. Bobardine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing is expecting something more lurid. The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, if you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to. We've deserved them more than anyone else. I'm gonna write it down, and then I'll steal them later. The boot has a serial number. He twists the dead man's foot. It's E50 100 1000. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by that design. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronic circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a colored photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. This photo is taken at the scene using a Trigot Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. He produces a measuring tape, well nourished, athletically well built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back short. Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. The hair under your latex feels cold to touch, wet. Stroke his hair gently. The stench is suffocating. The strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. Write it down, adding the brilliantine. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem, low velocity. Low velocity? The kid explodes. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? The velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. The lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The lieutenant proceeds a small folding knife, with the other hand pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. The steel wiring, he concedes, breathless. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters. The hangman lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Always good to think ahead. Now, he points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below, carefully, with as much precision as you can. My pig is gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. Look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tied around the whole circumference of the neck, swelling over the edges like a white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there steady now like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. Here we go. Hey! After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot, tying his belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Press down. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut in the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it. Lieutenant kneels closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact. He presses down. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia. He pulls down the man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen, see? I fucking knew it. Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Inspect the genitals. The dead man's penis is average size, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. Genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch. Write it down and move on. Back is symmetrical and intact. He struggles to turn the corpse on his side. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. They are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty. The scarring is extensive, way more than the law officials. He nods. We have a real museum here, of battles, wars. Last item, hands. He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to his other hand. Let the lieutenant work alone. Hands are clean, no sign of a recent struggle. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Write it down. Alright. Whoa, he turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for external. Well done. What next? Internal examination summary. Central nervous system, he says, then concludes abruptly. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system? Of course, there's a moral to be drawn from it, a moral to the story. If I may add the moral of the story, what would that be? He looks at you inquisitively. The dead man looks too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story. The brain is very vulnerable to compromise in its blood supply. The lieutenant grins. I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Alright, N.A. Good. Musculoskeletal purge. Fluid is coming from the mouth. He gets close to the mouth hole. Eyes squinting from the stench. Not injury-related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand to the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from his mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. Yeah, jack that fucker off. That's weird, but okay. The hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable. Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in the mucose of the lips and mouth. No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid here, sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight into the mouth of his. Look deeper inside. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach into your mouth. You're forced to swallow just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness, just a mess of meat and darkness. Mute silence as always. The lieutenant lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you, hemorrhaging present in mucus. He repeats impatiently. Right down. He wipes his brow. Hepatobiliary. Right, NA. Same for toxicology and serology. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. The body is gathered in his hands, feet, and neck. Blood is gathered in his hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging. Gastrointestinal, he breathes a sigh of approaching relief, is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground of the pool of feces there. This will do. Then he touches the corpse's littered lower abdomen briefly and says, digested semi-solid fluid in subject. Voila. Keep the voila. What's next on the list? Alright, we'll do the description of injuries and then we'll be done for the day, I think. Let's see. He tilts his head. We have bite marks, contusions on head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Bite marks. He nods. Head and chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. Thanks, Aaron. Have fun doing your artwork. That doesn't sound very fun, but try to have fun with it. And your opinion, officer? Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Non-fatal post-mortem. Agreed. Next injury? Contusions. So, the scalp bleeds from post-mortem head injury, the stone. The injury does not have the rim of early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing the post-mortem. At maximum velocity, fucko. Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity. Coagulated blood sticks to the scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes. Non-fatal post-mortem. Right. Next. Ligature mark. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck. Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side, awaiting a judgment. The ring around his neck is visible. Opinion, fatal injury. That's it. He cracks an uneasy smile. We've established cause of death. It's not much and it leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up and pronounce the field autopsy over. What now? I need a copy of that autopsy form, then I will drive him to Falberg. Rip out the copy. For processing, he looks at the dead man one more time, then the slip of the red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. Try to remove the dead man's boots again. I thought we decided to leave it for processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus. I want his shoes. Alright, tell me who you are, dead man. I'm gone. Where have you gone? Into the wild pale yonder. Where is that? In the past. Way to get out west. I can't get the damn compartment of my ledger open. The blue heart? Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard, Cop Popo the Clown. He means force. It'll work. I can see you're gone, but who are you? I'm a joke. Look at me. You are now, but who were you when you were alive? A killer. A motherfucker and a killer. I have another question for you. What is happening? What do you mean? I'm talking to you. It's the power of your black frothy liquid starts bubbling from his lips. Imagination. Go and ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Why do I love questions so much? Because you're a copperoonie. Look at them all go. Do you want more questions? Yeah, give me questions. Is my name Rooney? Fuck no, you're no Rooney. Rooney is not who I am. I'm Harry. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker, and that's who you are. Rooney the motherfucker. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Because you have. I hate you. You stink and you're boring. Do I remind you of someone? A child, born with Muller's disease, Harlequinism, grown up miraculously. A baby affected with Harlequinism. You sure wriggled out of that one, Copperoony. A deep sea creature. Enough. Tell me something, dead man. I guess perception, I guess one time. You run your hands on the victim's cold body. His limbs, his torso, his soul and organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. Look at his pants again. The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoteworthy. You see his penis of a dead man. You've seen it once. You've already got the picture. Can't get enough of that dick. Do you think we missed something? Yes. I've got the gut feeling there's more to this corpse. Okay, well, we're in livor mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body. If we want to conduct another examination, we'll need to do this fast. Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, his voice shows off and his gaze settles on Kuno, but only if all else fails. Fuck are you looking at, Bino Man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Want to get bucked? Only if all else fails, he stresses. Let's hurry then. Alright. He gets up. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we're looking for will become harder to find. End. Okay. So, we are going to save. That's going to be it for today. It's getting a little late. So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you all next time. Bye.